Hey, what is up? So for this video, I actually want to talk about the canon of Saul Goodman's marriages that was first revealed to us in the plot of Breaking Bad, and how last season the creators adhered to this canon in order to craft the storyline of Saul Goodman. So getting right into it, in season 5 of Better Call Saul, in the episode entitled JMM, we learned definitively that Saul Goodman was married 3 times because during the scene at the Bernalino County Courthouse of Jimmy and Kim getting married, we hear the clerk working there ask for documentation of Jimmy's previous 2 marriage dissolutions.
Here you go. Thanks. Sir, do you have documentation of your 2 previous dissolutions?
Yeah.
Great. 1 sec.
Which thus means that Kim Wexler is Saul Goodman, aka Jimmy McGill's 3rd wife. Now this is actually pretty interesting because, as I've discussed in some of my previous videos, the only reference to Saul being married 3 times actually came from a deleted scene in season 3 of Breaking Bad in the episode entitled Caballo Sin Nombre.
Oh, why? Because your wife kicked you to the curb?
Who told you that?
Nobody had to tell me, okay? I can smell it. This place stinks, a pathetic bastard. You think I don't get it? You think I get it, okay? I've been here myself. I mean, this place, literally. This is where every middle-aged washout ends up when his wife gives him the boot. 3 marriages. You think I haven't been here? The Beachcomber Apartments, last stop on the loser train.
It's my business.
And other than this deleted scene, it was only revealed to us that Saul was married 2 times, as we know from the infamous piece of throwaway dialogue that Saul Goodman stated to Walter White about him catching his 2nd ex-wife screwing his stepdad in the episode entitled Green Light.
What the hell is wrong with you? You act like you're the first guy this ever happened to. I caught my 2nd wife screwing my stepdad, okay? It's a cruel world, Walt. Grow up.
And other than this, there was no other real reference to Saul Goodman's marriages in the plot of Breaking Bad other than this scene and the previously mentioned deleted scene. Now, interestingly, in season 1 of Better Call Saul, it was revealed to us that Saul's apparent first wife he discovered was having an affair with the man Chet, who Jimmy mentioned as part of the notorious Chicago sunroof storyline in the plot of season 1 of Better Call Saul in the episode entitled Marco.
True story. Back home, there was this guy named Chet. Now, Chet was a real asshole. He might have owed me some money. He might have slept with my wife before she became my ex-wife. The details don't matter. Suffice it to say, I was wronged.
Again, it's not confirmed here that this was Saul's, aka Jimmy's, first wife, but I think we can infer that someone who's been divorced several times is going to refer to his first wife as just his wife and his 2nd wife as his 2nd wife. But I guess it's possible this was the same woman who also, according to Saul, was screwing his stepdad. But yeah, so now going into season 6 of Better Call Saul, I'll be very curious to see what role Kim Wexler may play in respect to being Saul Goodman's wife, because actually, if we go back to the deleted scene in season 3 of Breaking Bad, in the aforementioned episode, we hear Saul state that he himself also lived at the Beachcomber Apartments. However, at the time, it was definitely implied that Saul lived there after the divorce from one of his marriages. However, this has not been confirmed, and actually in season 2 of Better Call Saul, in the episode entitled Rebecca, we learned that following Jimmy moving to Albuquerque from Cicero, he looked at the Beachcomber Apartments as a potential place to live.
I'm looking for a place. I've been staying at the Ramada. Well, thanks for the help, by the way. I found a few that I like. There's one place, the Beachcomber, has a pool. And since the McGill clan is whiter than a pack of albino rats, I figure I better start working on my tan. So seriously considering that option.
I strongly suggest sunscreen. We're up to about 5,000 feet here. You'll fry.
Excellent point. Sunscreen. Check.
But it's not implied that it's immediately after a divorce. That being said, I suppose it is possible that Jimmy divorced his wife prior to him moving to Albuquerque. But again, we're taking a lot of artistic license here. But anyway, this sort of makes me think about the potential that Saul and maybe other characters as well tended to embellish in their dialogue as opposed to telling the absolute truth here. Of course, this definitely opens up quite the can of worms in respect to not having to adhere very strictly to the canon of Breaking Bad when crafting the storyline of Better Call Saul, but I think that's more of a discussion for a different video. Now, that being said, getting back to the plot of Saul Goodman in season 6 of Better Call Saul, I do want to now briefly discuss the sort of theory that's been floating out there of the possibility that maybe Kim was a silent partner with Saul Goodman the entire time over the course of Breaking Bad, but was never seen in that series. And again, while I've discussed why I don't think this is a very strong possibility based on all of the foreshadowing that we've seen heading into next season, actually going back to that Breaking Bad episode in season 3 entitled Caballo Sin Nombre, we hear Saul state some pretty interesting dialogue to Walter White in respect to sort of him convincing him to sort of get over his bemoaning of the fact that his wife left him.
And after a decent interval of time, well, there are other fish in the sea. You've been out of circulation for a while. I mean, you'll be just amazed at what's out there. Thailand, the Czech Republic, I mean, those women are so grateful to even be here.
Now, of course, this is just my reading of Saul's dialogue here in this scene, but to me, it's kind of hard to square the circle of Saul being in a relationship with Kim Wexler as opposed to this dialogue that he's telling Walt here in this scene. That being said, as the theory that's been floating out there has speculated, it is possible that this Saul Goodman persona is just a character that Jimmy McGill puts on in the plot of Breaking Bad. Now, I've addressed some problems with this potential theory, but nonetheless, again, this dialogue in this scene in Breaking Bad is sort of the whole crux of the issue here of whether or not Saul is a completely different person from Jimmy McGill as opposed to this sort of alter ego of Jimmy McGill. Again, that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing next season. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's actually kind of cool to think about that this dialogue from this deleted scene in season 3 of Breaking Bad is kind of the closest thing we have to Kim Wexler being mentioned in the plot of Breaking Bad via Saul Goodman talking about the fact that he was married 3 times. So I guess this pretty much leaves Howard Hamlin as the only major character in the plot of Better Call Saul who was never seen or mentioned in the plot of Breaking Bad. That being said, as a very quick tangent here, I actually was thinking about a scene in season 4 of Breaking Bad in the episode entitled Problem Dog. We're following Walt destroying Walter Jr.'s car. We see Walt in Saul's office where Saul is speaking with what appears to be the district attorney on the phone in respect to Walter White's charges.
There's mountains of contrition. Fantastic. I will message her over right away. Oh, and about that other thing unrelated, yes, I can get you in. But I gotta warn you, the 8th hole is murder. Oh yeah, you want to make it interesting? Great. Tea time, 7 a.m. sharp. Prepare to have your ass handed to you. Okay, bye.
Now again, this is just me sort of speculating here, but with the benefit of hindsight, I wonder if this district attorney or maybe even assistant district attorney is Saul Goodman's friend, ADA Oakley, who we've seen over the course of Better Call Saul.
He was headed for destruction of property, but since it's your own property, I sweated him down to misdemeanor trash burning. Now, the only thing is, it's not going to be free. It's a $5,000 fine, $600 for towing and disposal, another $3,000 to steam clean the blacktop. So, bottom line, your little joyride's going to set you back about $52,000. So, was it worth it?
Who's sort of doing his old friend a favor here in diminishing Walter White's charges down from felonies to misdemeanor trash burning. Again, just sort of a theory I've had.
I caught this thing before it got into the system. That means your record stays clean, the wife never finds out. I've been working magic here. I gotta at least get an attaboy.
in respect to a very minor character in the plot of Better Call Saul being mentioned in the plot of Breaking Bad, but I digress. So yeah, like I said, going into the next season, I'll be very curious to see what is in store for us in respect to the husband and wife combination of Saul Goodman and Kim Wexler. I'll be very curious to see if maybe they buy that home, which has been foreshadowed over the course of season 5 of Better Call Saul. For example, when they visited the open house in the episode entitled 50% Off.
Nice house, huh?
Yeah. Maybe someday.
And then again, when they discussed various real estate listings in the episode entitled JMM.
Imagine a magical land called home. Watch the sunset across your own private meadow as wildflowers sway in the breeze. The stunning desert retreat promotes a casual yet luxurious lifestyle.
I'm casual yet luxurious.
Yeah, totally. It's got a 5-car garage.
What? How's that gonna work? We only get 2.5 cars each?
Yeah, garbage.
And actually, very interestingly, we also see a very brief shot of what appears to be an unknown location at this point in time in the plot of Better Call Saul. And we see a sort of cardboard cutout advertisement of Saul Goodman. So I wonder if maybe this could have something to do with Jimmy and Kim. Perhaps this is their home. Again, I'm just rampantly speculating here. But at the end of the day, due to the fact that this dialogue from this deleted scene in season 3 of Breaking Bad did not state that Saul was divorced 3 times and only said he was married 3 times, I guess it is still at the end of the day possible that Kim and Saul never get divorced. But like I said, it would be quite the sort of surprise ending to me based on all of the foreshadowing that we've seen in respect to the termination of this relationship next season. All right, that is all I really got for you guys on this one. Really cool to see the creators adhering to deleted scene dialogue as canon. Definitely wondered if they were going to adhere to this, because if they didn't and had Saul being married only 2 times, it would have been sort of a plot hole and contradiction. But like I said, this adherence of this dialogue just makes me wonder what other little subtle details in the plot of Breaking Bad will also be displayed to us in the plot of Better Call Saul next season. And as always, my name is Anton Jackson. Thank you so much for watching this video.